School dropout remains a challenge. Many pupils who enroll in Primary 1 do not complete Primary 7, and the trend persists at secondary level. Former Commissioner at the Ministry of Education and Sports and board member at Uwezo, Tony Mukasa Lusambu, says primary enrollment once averaged 3 million learners progressing from Primary 1 to Primary 7. While international standards link dropout rates to education quality, Lusambu notes that the thematic curriculum, which emphasizes mother tongue instruction from Primary 1 to Primary 3, helped reduce dropout rates.
The national standards put it as part of our quality parameters because a child will not continue with school where he doesn't understand what is being taught, what is being learned. If a child doesn't understand what happens to him or her in a classroom, this child is most likely to drop out of, and you could find that now retention levels at that level really went up. Many children who used to drop out at primary 2, 3 were retained in school. Now problems start coming after P3 when they transit from the local language, their mother tongue, to the English language. So you'll find that research has indicated that most of our learners drop out at primary 5, primary 6.
Lusambu adds that effective implementation of the competency-based curriculum at O level could address dropout rates at even primary level.
Very happy if the competency-based curriculum cuts across so that learners really learn with understanding, because the competency-based learning really centers at that. The learners see what they learn, they touch, they discuss, they manipulate. It is learning by doing. Learning by doing makes a learner understand better than the theoretical learning.
Although the competency-based curriculum is a key intervention, parents and teachers' language towards the pupils also contribute to school dropouts.
Those who continue talking very negatively to the children in school, especially those who happen to grow faster than others. Hey, you have big breasts. You are just ready for marriage. You have failed my examination. Discouraging words which don't entice children to stay in school. So discourage their own children. You are as stupid as your grandmother, as stupid as your mother, what. Those are some of the bad sentiments or mentions which sometimes send our children out of school.
Experts also cite persistent absenteeism to poverty and domestic work assigned to learners during school hours as a contributing factor.
And there is this issue of poverty. Poverty is a very, very big challenge. Another survey was carried out about 7 years ago about the poverty pockets in our country and the school attendance levels. And you could see that the districts where poverty levels were high were again the same districts affected by poor academic performance and the high dropout rates of school. So there is a lot of correlation between poverty and school attendance vis-a-vis school dropout. Government's issue is basically what we could call school fees. But there are other issues, the other requirements. If a child is to go to school effectively, the child has to get exercise books, some textbooks, especially for secondary school.
The State Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Moyingo, says government has expanded school infrastructure and introduced free primary and secondary education to increase access, but the learning environment remains critical.
The government, particularly the government, we have built schools. This meant that we have more space for almost every Ugandan of school-going age. So this is something I think, in addition to what you have picked, we need to celebrate and thank God for.
It helped a lot in attracting more learners into school and continuing with the studies. No child would like to study under trees or under makeshift structures. Some of the learners were studying under structures which were very, very, very risky. And when it rained, they had to run away back home because they are studying under a tree, they are studying under a makeshift structure. But now government has come in, especially at primary level. Most of these poor structures have been addressed.
Behind the rising dropout figures lies the persistent issue of absenteeism in examinations.
For 2025 UCE exams compared with 2024 last year. On the one hand, this increase in candidature could be attributed to the low absenteeism, which was recorded at 0.5%. This clearly indicates that more of our children who transitioned from primary to lower secondary level 4 years ago stayed in school to the end of the O-level cycle. However, it does leave a lot of curiosity as to whether the competence-based curriculum that we have adopted for O-level has influenced learner retention in the system at this level of education.
Where the minister says the numbers of registered absentee candidates has continued to reduce. Yes, indeed, it will continue to reduce as long as these learners know that when they sit the examination, they will qualify for a certificate. It goes back to quality because they know that they will be able to write something that would qualify them for a certificate. Because under this competence-based curriculum now, many children are capable of passing.
Immediately after the COVID, we saw a big jump in candidature at PLE because of the ones that had been held back and some were jumped a class. So we had a big spike, and it appears this is the spike that has come through now at up to this level.
Civil society organizations such as WEZO and UNICEF have conducted research on school dropouts and proposed recommendations to address the challenges. I'm Navka Farida in Kampala.